Good morning. This is the Blank Roll webcast that can be found each week on Facebook, YouTube, and LinkedIn. You can also find us on Spotify, Apple Podcasts, and at my website, which is behindtheblanksworld.net. I'm your host, Blaine Greenfield. I'm here in my Zoom studio in lovely downtown Fairview, North Carolina. Each week, we focus on positive news and information that people and organizations in both Western North Carolina and throughout the country. And toward that end, it's my pleasure to introduce Candice Dickinson, who's the artistic director at HART. And Candice, you can wave for all your fans and friends who are watching. Yeah,
Hello.
I could be wrong, but I have a hunch you're at HART right now, or is that behind me?
I am. Yes, my giant backboard of all of the lovely little notes that people have given me over the past few years.
And however many you get, you certainly deserve every one of them because you are truly amazing, Candice Dickinson. That it's just amazing what you do. So you're artistic director at HART. What exactly does that mean? What do you do there?
Yes, I kind of think the easiest way for me to describe my role here is kind of like if you are interacting with the theater, I have my hand in it. So, obviously have the artistic vision for the theater, as well as the strategic vision for the theater. But then I'm the main point of contact for patrons, for volunteers. I'm the volunteer coordinator here as well, and I also run our production meetings. So I'm also the production manager for our shows as well. So I kind of, if it's an artistic thing, if it's people being involved in a show, you're gonna have to talk to me, you know?
Good way of expressing it, but in addition to that, Candice, you should also mention that you also act and you also
I
direct,
I love to direct and act,
And
yes.
so I think you and I have talked about this, but of all the things you do, what's your favorite thing? The acting, directing, running the theater? Do you have a favorite?
I think directing probably actually. I really love leadership. I really love creating an environment that is, a good environment, a happy environment, supportive, safe. And I feel like directing really gives me that opportunity as well as just the artistic part of it. I love to paint too. I actually lead a lot of our scenic painting. I'm directing, I really feel like I'm using every part of myself. I'm thinking in that artistic way. I'm also thinking in a very practical way. I'm using my leadership skills. I'm using my people skills. I'm having fun. And yeah, a lot of problem solving.
The only thing that disappoints me when you direct, I don't get to see you on stage because I like
Oh,
seeing you on
thank you.
stage. But let me ask you, have you ever had this happen where you're directing, and have you ever had to step in at the last minute for somebody who doesn't show?
Oh, Blaine, I think you know the answer to that. Yes, I've had to many times. I think every show I've ever directed, I've had to step on. Actually, you know what? I didn't end up having to for Next to Normal. I almost did. There was one night where the girl playing Natalie actually was having a little bit of a health scare, and that was not who I had planned to understudy at all. But her understudy couldn't get there, so I was waiting in the wings with ready to go on if I needed to. But yeah, for Footloose, I had to go on for a weekend, and in Music Man, I also had to go on for a weekend as Marion.
Oh,
Yeah,
really? So it wasn't just a little small walk-on role. You had a
no,
major.
that was the lead in that one. That was really crazy, and it was the final weekend. And then in Footloose, it was Ren's mom, the role Kristen Livengood played. I had to go on for that weekend.
What amazes me, Candace, about many shows, including those at Heart, is that they go on so amazingly, given that so many things could happen. Aside from all the COVID stuff, we had previously, but that, it's such a big drive for some people, including yours truly, just to get out there. And then
Yeah.
you have big casts in some shows, and amazing. I'm trying to think. Maybe one time I saw a show get canceled, but it's so rare that it does, and especially because it's not like Broadway, you don't have understudies for every role. It's just,
I certainly try to now.
oh, do you really?
I think it was, I believe it was Music Man actually that really made me kind of like start taking those steps for Heart. And then after Footloose last year, I've really this season I've pushed all my directors to be like, okay, we have to have a plan in place for every single role. Whether that's me too. I mean, like I tend to, tell them like, okay, and if you need me to understudy a role, just let me know which one, because obviously when you get understudies, that also means more payment, right? Because you got to compensate people for their time. So a lot of times it ends up being in these big musicals, it's fairly easy because you give people with smaller roles or ensemble roles a chance to understudy a larger role. And we actually have that happening tonight for Anything Goes. We have uh, one of the angels is going to be going on for Hope Harcourt, and then we have another understudy that will be going on for the angel. So we actually will have two understudies in tonight.
Well, but it's so good to know, given that the fact that, if someone wants to come and see a show, they're going to see it. But it
Mhm.
reminds me of, let me try to think of the story that years ago, I was supposed to see in a concert some guy you may not know, Phil Oakes. You ever hear him? He was a singer. He's kind of a folk singer. Anyway, I was really excited, Ken, to see him. And I get to the theater. They say, we have some bad news. Phil Oakes isn't here.
Oh
And they will
no.
tell you he's probably on a drug overdose or something.
Oh no.
Right, but that was him. But
Yeah.
anyway, we have an up and coming artist, some obscure guy, and he got up on stage and he wasn't bad. And some guy by the name of James Taylor. And I
No
remember
way.
I was saying to myself, hey, this guy isn't half bad,
Not bad.
But so maybe we'll see that tonight at Heart. Somebody will step in and
Absolutely.
have the role. Well, Candice, let's talk then, since you mentioned already. I'm so excited about this upcoming show, and I'll be seeing an upcoming show, the show you're in right now. I'll be seeing it, I think, next weekend. But the show is Anything Goes. And first of all, how do you choose that show?
Yeah. Well, I knew that we've been building our TAP program here at Heart. We've been offering TAP classes each semester with our academy. And I've been a part of those classes too. I love tap. That's my favorite dance form, one I've been doing the longest too. So, and I was getting really close to these people, and audiences love tap. So I knew that I wanted to do a tap musical in 2025. And I was between two, and I kind of was just, floating those titles to different people, and Anything Goes was the one that consistently got people excited. And then I talked to Sheila Sumter, who's our academy director, actually, and mentioned it to her. And little did I know, this was a show that's super important to her. It was her first ever professional contract that she had. The first time she ever got paid to be a choreographer was Anything Goes. So it holds a very special place in her heart. And she really wanted an opportunity to direct it as well. So once that kind of fell into place, it was easy, and then that's how it got there.
Why I'm really looking forward to it is because something that Hart does, and I think you do very well, is oftentimes you'll show stuff that I haven't seen elsewhere. But even this one, Anything Goes, has it been done locally at all?
Not that I know of. I don't know the full history of every theater, so I apologize if I'm getting it wrong. But yeah, that I'm glad you noticed that. I'm glad you because that is definitely something I try to do. I try to, have people pleasing shows, shows that'll interest people. But I try not to do just like the same 10 classic musicals that every community theater in the whole country do, because we've seen them. So why keep doing them?
Well, that's it. Like I'm running through the last couple of shows, especially the musicals, and it was so exciting because I hadn't seen them elsewhere. Yeah, I
Yeah.
just run through them. We were talking about them off the air, but it was the
Yeah,
next
gosh. Well, Footloose people do a fair amount.
right,
That
but
last year would have been a
next
lot.
normal I'd never seen,
Oh,
right?
yes.
Was that
Yeah.
it? And then what was the other one too? The other one was a big musical you did last year, was it? I'm trying to think of the name. We were talking about
Gosh,
off the
we
air.
did last year. We did Footloose, Secret Garden, and was Spamalot last year, or was that the year before?
But Secret Gardens I hadn't seen, and then you had another one. It was a very
Trailer Park Musical. We did the Great
right.
American Trailer Park Musical.
But there was another one. It
Good
was a
Girls.
quirky musical. I loved it though. I forget the name of it. It was a
Big
futurist.
Fish? Oh, Big
Big
Fish.
Fish, yeah. Oh,
Yes.
did I love that? Because again,
I,
I never seen it before, So to see something that I haven't seen before, and so let's talk about Anything Goes because maybe I saw it 30 years ago or whatever, but I'm really looking forward to it. And so you
yeah.
chose Anything Goes, you said because you had some familiarity with it.
Absolutely, and wanting to get some tap up on the stage for sure. And it also just, it's a really it's a really fun show because of the characters. Like it's a really fun show to be an actor in, I feel like. Because you kind of have these like over the top characters. And it's such a classic jazz era musical where it's very much like joke, 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 joke song, joke, joke, joke song. You know what I mean? Like it's just joyous. Like there's not much depth to it, which you don't want every show to be like that, but it's nice to just have a show where you're like, I'm just gonna be entertained tonight, and I'm so psyched about
For the
that.
benefit of folks who don't know the show,
Yeah,
can you give kind of the Reader's Digest version, keeping it under 20 minutes if you can?
I'm gonna go 21 minutes, okay? Um, so at the core of the story, it's a love story. It is Billy Crocker is in love with Hope Harcourt. That's the base. Hope Harcourt, though, is engaged to Lord Evelyn Oakley, and she's not happy about that engagement. So Billy goes and stows away on this ship, the SS American, that is going to London to try to win Hope. And how he does that is by teaming up with Reno Sweeney, which is the character I play, who is a former evangelist turned nightclub singer, and who's been good friends with Billy for a long time. And Moonface Martin, who's played by Pasquale Lacourt, who I know you
Oh,
know.
great. Yeah.
Um, and he's hilarious in this role. And he is public enemy number 13. So he's the kind of silly, gangster character. Um, so that's those are kind of our core characters. And so Moonface and Reno are trying to help Billy get hope. And that is through all sorts of, they're on the run constantly. Both Billy and Moonface are constantly just a moment away from getting thrown in jail. So they're constantly, getting in these disguises. Reno is, kind of the person who's trying to break up Evelyn and Hope. You have Hope's mother, who's this hilarious character who all she cares about is money. And so she really wants Hope to stay with Evelyn so that they can become lord and ladies. And we have Steve Lloyd back on the stage, and he's playing Eli Whitney, who's Billy's boss. And he's also pursuing Evangeline Harcourt, Hope's mother. So it's again classic jazz era musical where it's a light plot, but really funny just because of all the circumstances and the mistakes, almost like a Shakespeare comedy, where it's very much like in and out and all these different identities and all the kind of confusion that lends to the comedy.
Just you describing it as putting a smile on her face, it just seems like crazy. Was it at one time was a Busby Berkeley musical movie, or it sounds like it could have been?
Oh, I'm not sure. It does sound like it could be. I don't know that though.
Doesn't because I don't know if I ever saw it, but even Candice, again, dating me or maybe some other people, but some of the classic songs from it.
Oh gosh, yeah. Obviously anything goes. I get a kick out of you, DeLovely, You're the Top, Friendship, Blow
Wow.
Gabriel, Buddy Beware. So a lot of, and they're all Cole Porter, who's, definitely one of my favorite composers.
Well, let me ask you that in terms of your favorite composers. I love Cole Porter too, but in terms of who should see this, in other words, Cole Porter dates some
Hmm.
people, including you, including me. So it's funny, he was one of your favorite composers because it was a little bit before your time, I assume. Is that correct?
Yeah, definitely, yeah.
But
Yeah, the jazz era is my favorite
oh,
time.
is it really? Who should see the show though?
Everyone. What do you
No, like,
mean?
is there any age limit for it? Any age
No,
range?
there isn't. It's appropriate for all age levels. There's a little bit of raunchiness to the show, but it is like 1930s raunchy. You know what I mean? Like it's not, cabaret raunchy. It's a kid could come and see it, and some of the jokes will go over their head. But it's totally appropriate for all ages. And just like if you love musicals, definitely come. If you just like comedies, because like I said, the characters are just so funny. Like Lord Evelyn, his whole character, he's this Englishman. And kind of the running joke for him is he can't get any of the slang correct. Like, there's this ongoing joke about step on it. He can't get that right to save his life. It's always like sit on it, step in it. All these right.
So wait,
So just like those little
who plays him again?
Andrew Beecham, So you may have seen him if you came and saw Inherit the Wind
Oh
at
yeah, right. He blew me
mhm.
away. And so I haven't seen the comedy, but that was that the first time I saw him?
Yes, at Heart. Yeah, that was his first time. He's
But
most of his experience is actually in film, TV and film. He moved here from Hollywood actually, and he we're now turning him into a theater person.
in that show, I'd never seen him. He just blew me away in that particular
He's really
show.
great.
And wait, is he? What does he do when he's not doing theater? He's a
Yeah,
doc-
he's a chiropractor.
chiropractor.
Yep.
Wow.
Yeah, he runs Waynesville Chiropractic, which is right on Main Street. It's like he walks from his office to Heart all the time.
Okay, but just I'm looking forward to seeing that. Forward to
And I'll
seeing.
say I also got to give him a shout out because he has saved me. I'm in my mid 30s now and a tap roll is hard on my body. And he has been giving me some great chiropractic adjustments to keep to keep me ready for the
So
show.
I love it. So that's going to be one of the criteria to be in a show for Candice. You have to have, oh, but Candice, we can have people have all these different skills, but chiropractic, I love that.
I
So
love it.
should be fun. Anything Pasquale's in, Steve's in it, some of
Oh
the
yeah.
rest of the cast in it.
Yeah, so we have let's see. So Billy Crocker is played by Ben Mackle.
Okay,
Um
great.
which was great. Yeah, we actually got a very generous donor that came forward that wanted us to find an equity actor to play Billy. So Ben is a part of Association, and we hired him for that. And he's doing fantastic. We have Kelly Hall as our Hope Harcourt, which this is her first show at Heart, but she does stuff at ACT, and she was just over at SART. We have Naima Coleman as
Okay.
Irma. And this is Naima's first show at Heart, but again, she works all over Asheville. Who else? Nancy Gaiman is our Evangeline Harcourt, Hope's mother. She's hilarious. Some people might remember her as the chain smoking, roller skating Betty from Footloose last year, where she was hilarious. She's so good at character roles. I really love how she approaches those. I'm trying to think who I've
But just
forgotten. Talked about
people,
Andrew Billy.
you got
Yes.
a bunch of them. How many people in the cast altogether?
About 40. Yeah. Yep, yep, yep.
Wow.
I'm just talking about kind of,
Yeah.
the group of leads, but yeah, then you have like a whole group of sailors. You have the angels, which are Reno's kind of like backup girls. So you have purity, charity, chastity, and virtue for angels. They're amazing. I love my angels so much. And then you have, all the kind of crazy characters beyond that, FBI agents, reporters, cameramen, priests, other gangsters. So it's a large cast
Well,
for
so,
sure.
yeah, so this, I assume, we're going to at the main theater, not at the
Oh, definitely.
yeah,
Yeah.
because there are 40 people on. That's a lot of people on a
Mhm.
show. Is that the
Mhm.
most you ever had on a show?
No, I broke the bank with Music Man. I had 53 people in that
Okay,
cast.
right.
Yeah. Yeah, I
And,
can't I love a huge cast.
right.
Oh
And
my God, I love
and
it.
then with 53 too, you had a whole bunch of kids in that one too, right?
Oh, yeah, bless me. Oh.
But that was just so much fun. So talk
Yeah.
about Candace and the process. So you've been so it's right now the show is in its what second week is it? Or
We're
third?
about to start our second weekend right now. Yep, we have a
Second
couple.
weekend. So
Yeah.
for the benefit of folks who don't know this, how long does it take to put on a show? In other words, so you've been in rehearsal before the show opened, how many weeks were you in rehearsal?
Yeah, we had an especially long rehearsal period for Anything Goes because of the tap and because of the dance numbers. Sheila was really intentional about wanting to build up our stamina, which I'm very glad she did because, now that we've hit the show, we're doing, a 5-minute tap break and then we have to start singing at the end of it, of course. And, Reno has to sustain a belt D for 6 measures after just tapping for, 5 minutes. So we ended up doing 8 weeks for Anything Goes. We started May 27th, something like that. I know because I literally finished directing Next to Normal. We opened Next to Normal on Friday, and then I had my first rehearsal for Anything Goes on Monday. So I got zero break going into it. But I'm glad it's been really fun.
Pretty.
Most of the time for a musical, when I direct a musical, I'm normally doing more like six to 7 weeks. And for plays, we're normally doing more like 4 weeks of
It's
rehearsal.
pretty ambitious, though. I mean, I hope people, that's why I love sporting theater. I hope people support theater because of
Yeah.
how much time you put into this. In other words, you're saying, so talk about even well, 8 week rehearsal, but 4 weeks, 6 weeks, whatever. How often are you actually rehearsing?
Normally 4 nights a week. Yeah,
Okay.
there's occasionally some times where you're going to do five, but most of the time it's like Monday, Tuesday, Wednesday, Thursday is kind of our typical rehearsal schedule. I personally do Tuesday, Wednesday, Thursday, Saturday because Monday is my day off. So I keep that as a director, but when
And
I'm
then,
in, it's
and the
normally.
tech week is sometimes longer when you have the tech.
Depends. Yeah, it depends. We've actually kind of started a trend at Heart, which I love and I recommend to any director out there that can swing it. But I actually normally do a 3-day tech week. I just do Monday, Tuesday, Wednesday night. I give them Thursday night off, and then we open Friday. Because what I have found, both as a director and an actor, is normally what you are needing on that last day of tech week more than another rehearsal is a day of rest.
Well,
And if you do that, then your opening weekend just has so much more energy, has so much more, yeah,
and it's funny
life.
you said that because a lot of theaters, maybe because of what you just said, are starting to do that, which I think makes sense. Have the
Mhm.
one night off before the opening, so that they get a break as well. So, Candice, if folks want to see this into the second week, talk about times and dates of performances, if you
Yeah.
could please.
Yep. So this runs through August 10th. So we have 3 weekends left. It's a 4 weekend run total. And we are doing Thursday night performances for all of our weekends. So, yep, we have Thursday, Friday, Saturday at 7:30 and then Sundays at 2.
Yeah, very nice, because I appreciate the fact that you have four, so you have a longer run than a lot of other local theaters. A lot of them are just doing Friday, Saturday, Sunday, so they
Yep.
get a chance to see it on Thursday night as well. We should
Mhm.
also mention that one of the great things about HART is that any place in the theater is just a great seat. You
Yeah,
won't
it
go
really
wrong
is.
with it. If people want to get tickets for this show, what's the best bet?
Yeah, go to our website, hearttheater.org. Of course, you can always, visit or call our box office as well, which our number is 828-456-6322. We have expanded our box office hours. We are now open 7 days a week in our box office. Um, but yeah, online is the easiest. Go to our website, and I always make sure that the current show that's playing is like the first button you can pick. So,
I have to ask
and
you,
I will say, anything goes is really selling really well and is selling out. We had already this last on our opening weekend had a day that only had I think 10 tickets left. For this weekend, we have I think our Sunday already only has about 30 tickets left, and I know more are going to sell between now and Sunday. So I would recommend getting your tickets soon, please, so that you get the seat that you want and you get to enjoy it the way that you want. But you're right, there's not a bad seat in the house.
I'll take it, and I took your advice because, yeah, I did get tickets, and it was 2 weeks out, and there were a few tickets left, so that was
Nice.
kind of exciting to see for you
You know what?
guys.
I'd love to say too, because this actually is a big need for us, and some people don't know about it. If you want to volunteer on the night of the show, either in concessions or with ushering or even will call, you get to see the show for free. And I have a ton of volunteer spots needed for this
Uh-huh.
show.
Good to
Yeah, because
know.
when we have a show in our main stage, we have 4 ushers. We have now expanded and we have 2 bars, which means I need 4 concession workers a night, plus also one will call person. So that's 9 volunteers
Okay.
every night for every show. And that's a huge need. That's a big, so please, if you want to come see the show, but you're worried about if you can afford it or not, please check out our usher and concession signups and sign up. You get trained the same night. You don't even have to like
Great.
do anything special. You just got to show up an hour before showtime, and you get trained that night. You get to see the show for free, and you get to feel good in your heart because you volunteered at a nonprofit.
And by the way, so is that sign up also at the website?
Yep, yep. I'll write on our homepage. So you'll see like the homepage. There's the first button says what's on stage now. That'll take you to anything go. The next button says usher and concession sign
Great.
up. And then there's another button after that that says anything goes again. So you
But
can't miss.
But assuming if you sign up, you're not going to have to at the last minute step in on stage and do a tap,
No,
But
unless it's you. We're gonna get you jumping on stage, Blaine.
Candice, I'll ask you just once again to repeat that a little slower. So the website also and the uh, phone number, if you would, please.
Heart Theater. I'm sorry. Okay. Hearttheater.org. So HARTTheatre.org. That's our website. And then our phone number is 828-456-6322.
Okay, thank you. And by the way, I want to give you a compliment too. I think you've heard probably this personally, but one of the things I love going to a hot show is I love the fact that you do the curtain speech beforehand. And I thank you so much for it because it really means a lot to me rather than have a recorded, curtain speech. Even if you can't make it, it's just the show, it has an identity to it. And I
Yeah.
just love you do it with such enthusiasm and fun.
Oh, thank
Do
you.
you
Well,
enjoy?
you won't see me do it for anything goes since I'm in it, but we have either Tom Bastick, our technical
Okay, I
director,
love Tom
who
too.
loves doing it, and then I have a fabulous intern this summer. His name is Will Caldwell, and he's house managing all the shows for Anything Goes. So you might see him up there too.
Okay.
He's great. He is a music major, and this is his last requirement to graduate. So, well, he's having a great time
And
here.
you put them to work right away.
Oh
Great.
yeah.
And last question, Candace, after anything goes, can you just briefly mention some of the other stuff that we can look forward to seeing at Hart?
Yeah, absolutely. We have gosh, I don't know how many. Let's count. Let's see how many shows left we have for our season because Heart, we be crazy over here. I do so many shows. So after this, we have The Cake by Becca Brunstetter, a beautiful play. Following that, A Little Night Music. Following that, just a 2 weekend run of Washington Place, which is written by local playwright David Brendan
Sure.
Hope. Then we finish with Lizzie, the musical. Then we have our Kids at Heart, our Academy at Heart fall musical, which is Beetlejuice Jr. And then we're going to be doing two Christmas shows again. And the two Christmas shows are The Wickham's Christmas at Pemberley, which is a great partner piece to what we produced last year, and also The Best Christmas Pageant Ever. So we still
And,
got 7 shows left in 2025.
and the Christmas pageant, is that the one you did last year also?
No, no, this is the play that the
Oh,
yeah, last year we did Charlie Brown Christmas with some little added scenes in
but I
it.
have to tell you, we're getting a chill, but you killed that show. So much
Oh,
fun. And the commercials, just loved it. Who would have thunk who would have liked it, but I just loved it. So
I
again,
love Christmas. I'm such a Christmas fiend. So I love the joy of the season.
and I love not only you, Candice, but also the stuff you're doing at Heart, because again, anything I see, I have a good time at. So that's really great. So thank you, thank you, thank you. And
Yes. Well, I'll have
I'll
to come back on the show. We'll, in September, we will announce our 2026 season. It was just approved by my board, so I'm very excited. I'm anxious to tell people about it. So I'll have to come back on the show and we can announce the 2026 season.
anytime, any place, anywhere. Candice, you be
Great.
well. Thanks an awful lot.
I'll see you soon, Blaine.
Great.